forward so that we can actually fly without that bruised wing in the wind. I used to think The Incredible Hulk was fiction until I saw his depiction. He had a mad, bad temper like a starving bear. Should have stood in a cage that read, "Beware." But he broke through the gate, put me on his plate, chewed me like gum with his fist, mashed me like potatoes with his wrist. He tried to flick me into the mouth of death, but missed. We stood in the courtyard of abuse. I was planted as the plaintiff. He was the root, the defendant. But somehow, with a smile, he became the judge. He ruled that I was codependent, ordered me to a life of abuse, and demanded that I spend it. Pressed upon a pod of a problemless facade, I remained in silence. I became the wood to the fire of domestic violence. I was chopped into little pieces by a tongue, strong like an axe, sharp like an axe, and sly like a fox. With his hands around my neck, I began to gag. With his ego flying high, he began to brag that he had me in check. With the baby staring close by, crying scared as heck, and the neighbors through walls hearing all the disrespect, I started wearing shades to hide the bruises of the crime, because on the prime suspect I was afraid to drop down. I walked on eggshells if in a world of hell, said the bruises on my arm was from when I fell. But then one day I opened my eyes, and I realized I wasn't the punishment, I was the prize. I had to break through those old rusty chains on my arms that didn't belong, would do me wrong and bring me harm. I had to pick up that down spirit that was dragging like a droopy chin, dust the cobwebs of fear off of my skin, dig deep down inside and find the love within. That's when God picked me up from the dirt, leaving the root behind, slowly but surely healing the hurt, and those old rusty chains came off of these strong arms of mine. I decided not to let anyone treat me like that again, and I was freed from a world of abusive sin, and I began to fly like a bird without a bruised wing in the wind. Whether your abuse is like mine was, worse, or what you call mild, whether being inflicted by a woman or a man, you have to stop it now while you still can, and fly like that bird without a bruised wing in the wind. Amen. Amen.